Welcome. Today, I'm going to talk about something that may be really prevalent during midlife and this menopause transition, but people don't often talk about it. Or if they do, it's in a way that it should be, we should get rid of it as fast as we can. And that's grief. Grief is a really natural part of menopause. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and I'm actually going to bring in two supportive essential oils and some techniques that you can use to help integrate them, integrate grief, and help to move through it as well. So I'll talk about those at the end. So welcome. If you don't know me, my name is Angela Warburton. I am an Eastern medicine practitioner, holistic wellness supporter of midlife women. I use natural time-tested tools to helping you navigate midlife and menopause. I bring the practical and the soulful together to help you navigate this time with more empowerment, with more ease, hopefully, with more delight and a little more soul. I am a midlife woman, as you can see. So these are time tested through my training, through my clinical 25 years working the clinic, but also as a woman, things that I have noticed and seen come up through my own transition through midlife and menopause. So welcome. So loss. There can be a lot of grief that comes up during this time of transition. So this is a big midlife stage, or stage of life transition, birth, puberty, menopause. These are times that take us from one stage of life into another. So the old is leaving, the new has not yet revealed itself or arrived, and it can feel heavy, it can feel hard, it can feel uncomfortable, particularly because where we're going, because it hasn't been revealed, there can be this kind of empty space. And grief can take many forms at this stage of life. There can be just this underlying malaise, feeling kind of a little flat. That certainly was a part of it for me as I was operating in the ways I'd been operating, but something just felt really flat for me. There can also be real loss. Often at this stage of life, if you have parents, there can be aging parents. I have aging parents that went through some health issues. My partner's father just passed. That can be a real thing, real grieving when people that we love pass away and die. There can also be kids leaving home. So that can be offer more freedom, but it can also be a loss for some people, or just this empty nest kind of feeling. Even it can be something that people are looking forward to, but there's a recalibration that has to happen. Who are we without these kids at home? Or if you're a single parent, who am I when I don't have this? That can be definitely come up, but it can also just be ways of being as we shift with our energy levels. We are not wanting to do the same things. Our ways of being and what we want to spend our time on changes, just our bodies changing. So as we watch everything change, even our collagen can be a source of grief. Like, how did I got 5 hours of sleep and it looks like I had 3 hours of sleep? What's going on? So all these different things can come up as a form of grief. Grief, we don't tend to love to talk about it in our modern Western world. We love spring and we love summer, but gosh, fall and autumn and that shedding season isn't something that we'd like to talk about that much. But it's so important because on the other side, there is something so powerful. In Eastern medicine, we use seasonal wisdom to explain a lot. So we follow the seasons in nature. We're deep in winter where I am right now. Before winter, which is a bit like this void, this empty place, is fall. And fall is a time where we reassess what's most important. I'll use a tree as an example, but the tree can't keep its leaves up all winter long. It just doesn't make sense. It would be using way too many resources and it wouldn't be effective. And so it will reprioritize and say what's most important, which is taking that sap that was used to feed the leaves, taking it inside and bringing it in down to the roots. That means that those leaves are going to fall away and there's a loss that happens. Beautiful thing is they fall to the ground and they get turned into compost. They break down and they feed new life that comes. So come winter, everything's just sort of sitting there. There's a lot that's happening underground. So we say perimenopause, early menopause would be this fall stage where we're letting go of what isn't working. And then we enter winter where there's just this sort of waiting period of like, what's going to be happening on the other side? What's this new life looking like? And then term for the transition through menopause is called the second spring in Eastern medicine, which means there's this rebirth. It's new life that comes. We get new clarity. We've shed what isn't working, that's maybe holding us down, the things where we're like, yeah, I can do that, but I don't want to do that. And we let those things go. We've got more space, ideally, and then we can focus on the things that bring us joy, that we do have energy for. But it can be difficult. And so I just want to honor that. A lot of times women have this low level grief and they go to their doctor and they're prescribed antidepressants or medications or told it's something, the work is to get over this. So definitely if you're struggling and clinically depressed, that get support, always get support. And if you're just feeling a low level grief and malaise, that take some time to let it be there, to embrace it. What is it that's wanting to go? What is it that is needing to be honored or to be tended to or to be seen? I know I've had many deaths in my life from people that have died. I had about 5 deaths in 2 years, most, I would say all of them unexpected. And they really shook my world. I will say that is one thing that had shifted my whole way in which I see the world. Deeply sad, and it took me to my knees. It cracked me open in ways that would not have been possible otherwise. And as much as I wish those people hadn't passed in the way that they had, it also brought so much clarity, wisdom, so much precious wisdom with it that I am so grateful for that. So it's the silver lining in something that maybe wasn't expected or wanted. And so if we look at it in this way, what wants to be heard, and just spending some time with the grief, there can be great wisdom that comes. In Eastern medicine, we say that this fall or metal system, it's when metal can be 2 things. It can be shaped into many things. So we have the precious metals that are found through, in the earth when they've been compressed over time and they're precious. That's like the gems that are inside of us. Metal can also be shaped into a knife to cut away those things that aren't serving. So it's the letting go that isn't working, so that the energy that you do have can be spent on that, is which is most important to you. So hopefully that makes sense. So little things that you can do, just carving out some space and some time for yourself, let it be there. Know that there is life on the other side. There is delight, there is excitement, there is passion, there is purpose on the other side, and just letting it have its time and space. We tend not to be very patient. So if you're like, I want to know now, just a little bit of space around that. Journaling's beautiful for this, letting yourself emote, cry if you need to. There's a period I was just crying every day, just letting it come out, just in gentle ways that felt like a release. Dancing can be really beautiful. Putting on songs that, that help that energy move through you, unblocking it can be really beautiful. And then I'll talk about 2 oils that I absolutely adore for helping to transform and work with grief. The first oil is cypress. Cypress is really beautiful to help honor and lay to rest the old and the sacred. There's a beautiful point that you can use this on. So in Eastern medicine, this grief, sadness, this metal stage, fall stage relates to the lung system. And right in the corner up here where you have it's my bra line there, right in this corner of your clavicle before you hit your shoulder, there's a little divot right in that area. It's called lung 2, lung 1, lung 2, or in lung 1, lung 2 are in these areas. And just taking a diluted cypress oil and laying it on that place, holding it for 1 to 3 minutes, doing a daily practice with that can be really beautiful. And you might notice that you release some emotion when you lay the oil on. You might feel, you just feel a little more supported. Just a note on essential oils, you definitely want them to be high quality. You want them, no synthetic oils, high quality oil, and you want to dilute them. So that means some kind of carrier oil with the essential oil. So with cypress, you could use a 50% blend, anywhere from 25 to 50% of the oil, and 25 to 50%, and then 50 to 75% of carrier oil. Carrier oil can be sweet almond oil, jojoba oil, fractionated coconut oil, something ideally that doesn't have a smell to it. And that is, again, not synthetic. So you just mix it. You can put a drop of each in your hand, mix it that way, or make a little bottle. How can I not have a bottle? Here's a bottle that I have, like a little bottle of the oils. And then you just put a drop on your hand and then lay it on the point very gently. No pressure needed. So just laying the oil on the point and holding for 1 to 3 minutes. If you're seeing an indent, that's too hard. So literally gentle things, simple things, really light touch can be really highly effective. So that's the first oil. And the other oil is called Saro, S-A-R-O. And this helps to bring back the divine, the beauty, the inspiration. If you've ever had a moment, it's almost like if you think of being in a forest full of trees and that sun is streaming in and you get those lights that's streaming, the rays of light streaming in, and it almost looks like heavenly, if you will. That's kind of the essence of sorrow. That's how I look at it. And so it's like what touching the divine, touching the sacred, touching the beauty, it allows us to see the beauty even with the grief and the sadness. And so sorrow, again, you want to use a diluted. This one, you're going to do more of like a 25% dilution. And you can put a drop on that one. And this one, I suggest putting in the center of your chest. So if you go down your sternum, right center of your chest and go down, you might feel that there's a bit of a tender spot or a natural little divot. This point is called CV17. It's like the heart point. So you can just lay the oil on there, and this just helps to open up your heart and to bring a little bit more of that divine beauty and help through and to the grief that you might be navigating. I'll put a few links below to places, and my favorite places where you can get essential oils that I just love the quality of them, and they do pre-diluted. Some of them do pre-diluted. I think for the sorrel, this is one place I know it's harder to find, so I'll put it in the links below. And there you go. If you're navigating grief, I hope this is helpful for you, letting you know it is normal, it will pass, but definitely honoring it is a huge part of the process. So thank you for being here. If you like this video, please hit like, subscribe if you want more. Please forward it to anyone if you feel it might be helpful for them. I am here to help you navigate this time of life with more ease, with more tools and just broadening the perspective of what midlife and menopause is and the beauty and the power that comes through it. So thank you for being here. Bye for now. I will see you next time.